Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another VOD review. This time around we have a Silver 3 Juno Lifeweaver that would like a VOD review. Their comments for this VOD are, my tank at the beginning of the round said I was throwing because I didn't have a lot of heals. As I was Juno, the heroes on my team had a tendency to move around a lot. So I ended up switching to Lifeweaver, but then my tank started dodging me and the other support, so I just wanted to figure out maybe I did something wrong. I know I was out of position a couple of times. I just really need some help. All right, let's see if we can give you some better tips on positioning and maybe playing with a lot of highly mobile heroes on Juno. Looking at your team comp here, I can see that you have a Doom, Genji, and those are already super mobile heroes. So I would say if your aim isn't really on point, I would highly suggest trying to heal them to the best of your ability, but using your torpedoes on Juno to take advantage of their mobility. Because if you lock down your torpedoes on them, the torpedoes will do the healing for you, and then you could just try and cover up the rest of said healing that they need. So I would highly recommend doing torpedoes, and then you yourself do it, or maybe let the brig pack them, because it'll be easier for her to just pack them since it automatically goes to them, instead of you like worrying about, oh my god, I need to help them, I need to heal them. Like, always remember, it's not just you also have another support that will need ult charge, that will heal your team. You have to kind of trust a little bit your other support to also be able to help your team. As I'm looking here, you guys have a Widow, so first off, she's probably going to be somewhere in the back line on the high ground, out of sight. So unless the enemy team goes something that they can dive her pretty heavily on, I wouldn't really worry too much about her on Widow, because if they don't have dive, or if they have a team that doesn't really look at her, she's probably going to be a menace in your backline. So she's not going to be taking major damage like your Doom or maybe your Genji that's going to be diving the backline together. They're going to be the main ones that you should be concerned about, because when it comes to Brig, she's probably going to be in between you and the front line, which is going to consist of Genji, Doom. So you can just use your torpedoes when they dive in, heal them up so that they get some early heals whenever they get CC'd as they dive in. But let's see how it goes and how you guys do. I would say, just based on this positioning, I would be probably somewhere back here as Juno, just to kind of cover this entryway for the enemy team, because they will have access to you. If someone is standing here, they have full view of you, and you want to keep your little like boosters for your boots to be able to run away and stay safe. So I would say if you're starting off and your Doom is already here, he can get in, get out fairly quickly. Same thing for your Genji. They are very mobile and they won't have as much of a pressure to survive as you will, because right now, since you have a Brig, you are the main support. You have to stay alive no matter what. And mind you, let's say that your Brig wasn't really good and she wasn't paying attention and she wasn't doing her job of healing for you, as you are the main support, should wave a little flag on your head like, okay, I really need to stay alive, I really need to be mindful of my life and my positioning so that I can be able to help my team just in case my Brig isn't up to par. So if I were you, instead of here in the middle of the road, I would be maybe playing here. Because let's say that the enemy team does decide to use this door, you have natural cover. Unless they push through, they're not going to be able to get you here. But if you're standing in the middle of the way, you have one entrance from here and maybe this high ground. You know, as you can see, the Ashe on the enemy team, she has high ground. She's probably going to be sitting up there, so you just want to play from inside here just to stay a little bit safer.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Ooh, I would say here, I know you maybe pressed the wrong button, but I would say keep your little speed ring to help the Doom dive in and dive out, or maybe dive out only to kind of give them that little speed boost so that he can get away a little bit faster from this D.Va, because D.Va has very good cooldowns to kind of dive in, be aggressive, get out, stay alive, and Doom has to use all of his movement tech to be able to survive the D.Va. And yes, he does have block, but it would be better to give your tank the upper hand, especially when he's Doom against this D.Va. So always keep your speed ring for your tanks. You either want to help them get in or help them get out with that, as well as yourself. Like you could kind of put this in between yourself and your tank and help both of you to get out of the fight if the enemy team is being super aggressive. Okay, I like the torpedoes there to help your Doom. Very nice work. There you go. You want to speed them in to clean up the fight. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay, they're just cleaning up. Very good job by your team. I like that you're still playing within safety. Here, I would probably tell my Brig, like, come on, get out, get out. Their team is coming back. Another thing I would say, instead of playing here directly behind your tank, their team is still in spawn, so they have no reason to have any pressure because they won't get any damage. Now, let's say that the enemy team, like this Reaper, right? He's still in spawn. He could swap at any moment. What if he goes Widow and decides to just snipe you from safety? Kind of like your Widow is here. Like, if the Reaper decides to go Widow and snipe you or the Brig, you guys are squishy. Always, always, always be careful. That's why I say, if your team is pushed up here, maybe you can play from back here, because you can still do the healing that you are doing to your Doom, but from safety. Because you are the main support on this team, I would say play from safety. Their team has no pressure to push or do anything, because any sort of damage that you guys are going to do won't matter to them unless they're that Cassidy that's out in the open. So if you can, I would say play from back here, play safe, especially if you are the main support and the one that will be doing most of the healing, because unless the enemy team dives or your Brig gets super aggressive, there's pretty much nothing else that Brig can do, because she can't apply Inspire if the enemy team never dives. And right now they're kind of just chilling, vibing, kind of regrouping in spawn. Very, very ambitious and dangerous torpedoes there, but I saw the vision. Very good use of torpedoes there. And this is what I mean, like if you're ever overwhelmed with a lot of people being critical, always use your torpedoes. And it'll be good to kind of loop it with your reload animation so that you can buy yourself time. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit here. When the Moira dives you, I think you panic a little bit and you just stop shooting. Yeah, here, like we could have shot her and maybe it would have pressured her to back off. So always, like, even if your aim is bad and you're panicking, always shoot your gun. You never want to just not shoot, because you never know. This is another person at the end of the day, and maybe 1 or 2 shots will make her go back to her team or make her waste an ability by healing herself or whatever. You never ever want to just kind of like deer in headlights, panic and never shoot. You always want to give either warning shots or actual shots and shoot her. Okay, I think your tank goes down here. Let's see how you guys come back. Oh, unlucky. Yeah, you didn't have really anything to help that break there. That was just unfortunate. Alright. Hey, Cap, your team is probably coming back and regrouping here. I like that you immediately recognized Winston is scary, especially for Juno, because if he can't get out, that dive is going to work in their favor. Okay, perfect. Healing up your Genji. I think you want to speed him back out to be able to go back to the fight. I would say here, you kind of can notice that your Brig is high ground. Here, your Genji is not going to be taking any damage. So I would have said, since your Brig is critical, I would have recommended using these, this little ledge here, jumping here, and then maybe boosting up here to the high ground to be able to help her, because she's gonna take a lot of damage. She's fighting both the Moira and the Cassidy, and you always want to help your second support, because if your second support isn't up, you are gonna have a very tough time as Juno, especially saving someone like Brig. As we can see, she has rally, and then maybe, just maybe, it'll help your tank and your Genji dive in with the rally so that they can kind of pounce on the enemy team. So as soon as you see your other support taking damage, your Genji is fine. He's out of the fight. He's not going to need anything. I would immediately try to fly up here and help my Brig. She's in a 2v1 currently. Okay, yeah, same thing for our Genji here. He's fighting on the high ground. He probably will need some help.
Addressing your injuries. Come over here.
Another thing I've noticed is you tend to use your boosters for positioning to help your team. Always try and keep them to help yourself get away from a fight. Kind of like there, perfect. That Reaper was putting pressure on you. You want to distance yourself away from him. Same thing here. I think the Moira is in your backline. You want to be able to fly away, stay safe. It was, oh, ask for healing. Hopefully your break packs you. Unlucky. Unlucky.
With the power of my heart, I will try again.
Oh, come on, get out there. Oh, okay, this is where you swap. Honestly, you had ults. I would have stayed Juno. I think you were doing fine on Juno. You had ult. You probably could have helped them with your ult here. Yeah, because their Ilari is back, so I think for the next fight, if you would have stayed Juno, you should have just ulted, and that would have been enough to help your team.
The warmth of BioLite.
But let's see how this goes. Okay, good pull on the Brig. She was critical.
Sorry about that.
Another thing for Lifeweaver is your team here, when the diva commits and she dives in, her team isn't here. As we can see, her team is respawning right now, and your team doesn't really need the heals because Brig is front and center, and every time she swings her flail, she will do damage and also healing. So here, instead of healing, because you can see all of their healths are pretty full, I would immediately start doing damage. If a diva is overwhelmed with 3 enemies and counting yourself 4 in front of her, always do damage. If your team does not need healing, always do damage. Because her team isn't here. She's not going to get any sort of healing. No help from her DPS. So always get her out of mech. You will sometimes hear the call of stagger baby. And that means that you'll get the diva out of mech, but you'll leave her in baby form. And then when her team is finally coming back, then you take the diva out of the game. That way they have to wait for their tank to come back into the fight, because no team is going to push 4v5, especially without their tank. So always demech the diva, force her into her baby form so that she doesn't have a mech to fight with, especially going up against a Brig. That Brig will win more often than not. Brig Doom Genji, there's no way she's winning that fight with baby diva. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, her team is coming back now, and they're still just waiting for her to reset and come back into the fight. Your team might actually get a pick here. Ooh, careful. Oh, I think there's a Reaper right next to you. I would suggest, because I love how you guys are just going around the point, but because there's a enemy DPS and you can see the contesting numbers right here, I would say swap to your weapon to do damage. Swap to your damage glove instead of healing, because your team is so far away. There's no sort of healing that you will need to do here, and it might come to terms of you being the one that holds down point for your team because they're spawn camping right now, instead of tending to the actual important factor that is payload when it's about to be capped. So hopefully you're able to get the winning kill here instead of the enemy team capping. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, perfect. You forced out Wraith. Your Reaper is kind of helping you. Hey, nice. Good hold. Great hold by you two. Same thing here. Good. You want to swap to your damage. As soon as your team doesn't need healing, always do damage.
60 seconds remaining.
A touch of regrowth.
Looking better already.
Careful. Here, I would have suggested, as soon as you see your tank is critical, I think you can see them here for a little bit. When you turn, your tank is critical. I would immediately have suggested for you to platform yourself up to kind of distance yourself from everything that's going on in the ground, all the chaos. There's a Lucio speeding past you. The diva could dive you, although she is leaving to go get some heals from her team, but it will just keep you safe. If you platform yourself up, more often than not, the majority of Overwatch players do not look up. They don't. You could exist for free in the skies if you wish. So I would say platform yourself up and maybe take advantage of this high ground, because you don't really need to have any sort of on the same level playing field for Lifeweaver. You could sit up here and pull your tank to safety, heal him up, maybe get the Brig to pack him to be able to see him better, because I don't think she can. Yeah, I don't think she can see him from here. So if you would have pulled your tank from high ground, you would have gotten him out of that fight from fighting Hanzo and Reaper and Lucio as he's coming back. And you would have kept yourself safe, because I think as soon as your tank goes down, I think the Reaper just focuses you here. And this is a much better high ground for your safety, your tank's safety. And it'll help your Brig see your tank, because right now she has no direct line of sight to even pack him. Yeah, but always be looking to pull your tanks, especially your dive tanks like a Diva, a Doomfist. You want to bring them back to safety so that your team can heal them up and keep them safe, and then just, you know, let them go, be on their way, do their business once they get healed up. And yeah, even here, I think you tunnel vision on that Lucio a little bit too much instead of keeping yourself safe, because you are, again, main support. You always want to be alive.
Something for the state. Feel my might.
Yeah, nice. You're healing your tank back up.
10 seconds.
Nice. You're healing your Genji. Okay, now the enemy team has an Orisa. Hey, nice. Good hold.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective
You're blossoming. Come here, will you?
Nice pull. I hear a Rhine pinning. What in the world? Okay, I think your team is a little bit too split. Yeah. I would say just wait for your team. Your Brig is back. I think you are waiting for your Genji now, as your tank is now back.
That should do it.
Oh, Brig, what in the world? Why is she up there? Oh, maybe you can get the pull on your Reaper here. Maybe. Yeah. I would say as soon as you see him being chased, like here, being chased by the enemy Brig and Rhine, I think you can see him for a little bit in this room. Yeah, you can see the teleport, and then you just look away instead of helping your Reaper, because you have direct line of sight of whatever is going to happen in this room. And I would have just rescued him instead of leaving him to die here. And again, you could have pulled him and maybe pushed forward a little bit and then pedaled him upwards so that you two would be sitting in the sky, and then maybe he could have dropped down, gone to capture point, instead of just leaving him to die over here. As Lifeweaver, your responsibility is to save teammates, and right now there's one person that's critical on point, but I don't think there are any enemies. I think everyone is backing up because the enemy tank and Brig are so heavily out of position trying to chase a kill that I don't think anybody is here doing damage on the enemy side. And your team is kind of just everywhere. But I would have said priority number one would have been to help that Reaper, because he is getting ran down by the enemy.
Can't have it getting worse. Windward. Up and at him.
Good pedal. You can still pull your Genji here. Yeah, I would have rescued my Genji. And then maybe he could have helped with the Moira.
Hammer down!
Oh, unfortunate. That was a solo shatter. Oh, no, no, no. If your Reaper is full HP and not purple or anything like that, or slept, never ever pull this Reaper. Like, even if he gets pinned, that's on him. Wait for the pin. You always want to wait for the pin. But right here, the enemy tank is so low. Like, if he just gets a little bit close to him, he can melee him and get the elim. But as a DPS player myself, if I am this Reaper, I would be very upset, because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm full HP. I don't have any negative effect on me. And you pull me from killing their tank. and their tank doesn't have any supports, because right now I don't think he has any available supports that are even nearby. Yeah, there's no one here. Their brig is all the way back here. I have no clue where their Moira even is, but yeah, you never ever want to pull any DPS from this situation. Let's say that the Reaper does get pinned, right? Just pull within the pin. He'll be fine. Once you pull within the pin, he'll realize, okay, you've rescued me from the pin, thank you very much. Let's go group together and go get this kill on this Reinhardt. Nice. I like the aggression here with the damage glove. No. Oh no. That is so unfortunate. Okay, nice. No one died to that. Okay, here I would say, because everyone is fighting and it's getting close to last fight, I would immediately pop my ult and I would pop it here in between my team and the enemy team, because you're gonna be cutting off line of sight for any of their supports to come help the tank. You should just pop it here in between all of this chaos, because your entire team is here. You have ult. This is last fight. Once the tank goes down, it'll be a 4v5. If you pop it, you'll be cutting off LOS. That will give you some sort of natural cover from that Bastion, the Pharah that's flying overhead. You can kind of use your ultimate as Lifeweaver to apply natural cover where there is none. Like in this instance, it's just out in the open. The train is behind you and above you here, but you just want to be able to cut off this Rhine from getting any sort of help from his team. So I would have popped it. Like, it's last fight. That ult it's not going to be super important, because if their tank goes down, they'll be more your team will be one up at the end of the day. So I would say just use it. Just get it out of the way. Cut this Rhine off. Help your team actually get this kill. And also, your ultimate applies overhealth. So your team will be able to be a little bit more aggressive with that extra healing on top. And also, I would have probably, once I ult as Lifeweaver, I would have pedaled up and just gotten out of all of that chaos. Oh, you guys could definitely get the kill on this brig. There you go. Nice. Good pick. Okay, careful with that Bastion. Okay, you still have your ult. They have their brig is down. Their Bastion is half. Brig rallies. I would just use it on point. Oh. You have your ults here. You have your ults. And you have pull. As soon as I see that Pharah ulting, I would have pulled my brig. Like, even if she is in rally, I would have been like, I'm sorry, girly. Nope. That's an ultimate you cannot deal with. So I would have pulled her, and then I would have popped free on point. Because one funny thing you can do is with Lifeweaver is, if you are going up against the Pharah, you can tree right under her and she will actually delete herself, because that ultimate will hurt her if she ults against natural cover or like a wall or something, some sort of structure. So here I would have just used my ult to be able to tell my team, like, okay, everybody get on point right now. We have extra healing. If you're outside, you're not going to get anything, so just dive point. And your ultimate will help people survive with that overhealth, this barrage, if they're taking natural cover within foliage. of your ult.
The warmth of firelight. Life protects life.
Yeah, nice. Hey, you got a little bit over health. Your health never went down to an important degree because of your ultimate on point. You guys were able to survive all of the spam. Oh, we had full. We should have rescued our Reaper there. Okay. I would say next time this happens and you have 2 people down, you have here, as you can see, you have pedal and you have pull. I like that you immediately recognize, let me pull my squishy to a safe position, but I would say as soon as you pull your squishy, pedal your tank. Because he is looking at a Bastion and Rhine getting ready to combo him right here. And thankfully he does have ult, and he takes advantage of that ult to be able to get himself out of that fight. But I like that you immediately pulled the squishy hero instead of someone with a lot of HP that would have survived that.
Get into the field. Life from life.
Here, I would have pulled Doom because he is critical. Thankfully, he's not taking any more damage. I think he's just running away until he can start to regen. But yeah, here I would have said do not use your pull because your Reaper is in Wraith. He's not going to receive any sort of damage when he is in this form, and he could have just gone around over here to the left side and stood here and waited for you to heal him, and then he goes back out into the fight. But using pull here on someone that's in Wraith form, he is safe. He's not taking any damage. He's using his getaway ability, and you are using your rescue ability on someone that has no pressure whatsoever. Because he could just go here and wait to be healed and then go back out. But now let's say that the next fight after this, once he gets healed, maybe your Genji needs help, or maybe your BAP is being pressured. Because I just heard the Moira coalesce. Victim number 1, I would say, would be the Genji, because he doesn't really have anything to be able to fight the coalescence. Keep your pull, maybe for this Genji. Because I know if I'm on Moira, I will 100% make that Genji my number 1 to get out of my backline. Yeah, I think he had to back off because the Moira did look at him for a little bit.
Reloading.
Yeah, I see you looking at your Doom, but Doom is so far back that I wouldn't even worry about him.
60 seconds.
Okay. I like that you immediately turn around and go help your Reaper. Oh, that's another... This is another pull opportunity here. Okay, you see him running away. And I think here, we hear the Rhine pin. He's either going to pin you from this left side, or he is looking to pin your Reaper. And as soon as we see it here, it happens so quick, so I don't even blame you, but I would have just pulled him because he is getting ready to fight a Brig. And mind you, he could 2-tap for 3 the Brig, but I would say just get him out of this fight. He has 2 enemies that are directly looking at him and not you, and that's a bonus. You want him to take the brunt of damage, all of the attention from the enemy team, but you also want to give him a little backup to survive. You want to be that annoying little gnat on the back line, like, oh, you wanted to go for my DPS? Nope, I pull them away to safety. Oh, you wanted to go for my other support? Nope, he is pulled to safety. You always want to be that annoying Lifeweaver that just rescues everyone, and the enemy team will have their chats flying and fuming like, we need to get this Lifeweaver. They've rescued everyone on their team. They're so annoying. I'm so tired of them. We need to make them swap. Always be that little annoying support. Like, oh, you're trying to dive? I delete your dive. I like that you're backing away. You immediately recognize this Ryan is not what I want to deal with right now. So I think your team is just waiting to set up again. You guys are waiting mainly for your Genji. I like that you're doing damage. Perfect. Okay, so for this next fight, your DPS are coming back. I would be looking to using your ultimate. Perfect. You guys are definitely going to need it for this fight. Because your ultimate is on point. And let's see. Let's look around. We have our Reaper here. Our Bab and Genji are on the high ground. I would have said maybe play from here. You can stand here, by the way, for those of you that don't know. You can stand here or maybe even platform yourself here and stay out of the fight, because right now you as Lifeweaver do not need to be on point. Reaper is taking care of pushing cart. I think your tank has just gone down because he stayed in the back line for way too long, but I would say because the rest of your team is here, you yourself as support do not need to be touching point whatsoever, since your Reaper is the one being super aggressive, because he needs to be up close and personal to be able to do damage. So I would say ult and then back up. Maybe pedal yourself here. I would say maybe if you're aggressive, you could play from here, but still that is within direct line of sight of the enemy team. So I would say be careful if they have other heroes, kind of like snipers, Widowmaker, Hanzo, Ashe. Obviously they don't have that here, but I would say Bastion is another one to watch out for if you are playing here. So that's why I recommend playing from here. Just pedal yourself up, maybe sit on this high ground and just heal your team, or maybe do damage to whoever decides to push up past here. Like this corner, you hold. You help your Reaper and you do damage to whoever tries to be aggressive past that corner. Your Bab also got a pick. Nice work. Nice pulling your support. Because your Bab is mainly focused on helping the people in the front lines here, don't be afraid to double jump to be able to help yourself and heal yourself if your other support isn't directly paying attention to you, because right now he's feeling pressure. It's overtime. He's probably thinking, I have to help our tank, I have to help people in the front because I am closer to the fight. And that Bab more often than not is not going to turn around for you on Lifeweaver because it is overtime. So you got hit with the fire strike here. A little bit of your health has been taken off. Don't be afraid to heal yourself with the dash, because here the enemy team is coming back. They're pushed all the way in the back. Don't be afraid to heal yourself, because you'll get that back by the time the cart is closer to the point and you are closer to the enemy.
Justice reigns from above.
Some healing?
The payload is approaching its destination.
I would have recommended, as soon as you see your Doom being pressured like this, I would have said get on high ground and heal from here. You see how much of a better view you have here? And best part is you have natural cover. if the enemy team wants to pressure you, they have to go from here all the way up and around. And this is really good because guess what? They have to go touch point. So it's either go get the Lifeweaver on the high ground or go touch point. You'll have to force them to make that conscious decision. Do I possibly win the game or do I get someone out? So I would say think about how to be more annoying for the enemy team. And let's say that you are here, right? You could pull your Doom, heal him back up. The BAP will stay on point. And then your Doom can go back out and go fight. Because your BAP is on point, you as Lifeweaver do not need to worry about being on point. Your teammates got it. You can be a little bit more trusting to how they're going to play. And it'll also help you get away from this line of sight. And I think in a couple of seconds here, I think you panic because you see that Ryan getting super close to you. But here, even though I do like the fact that you are pedaling yourself up to high ground, here's problem number one right here. You want to be able to get out of this line of sight because it is very dangerous. You are putting yourself kind of like on a pedestal, like, hey, enemy team, I'm right here. Please get me out of the game, instead of playing at a safer position with that same view of I can still help my team. I am in a safe spot. I don't need to worry about anyone coming back here and pressuring me. But with this line of sight, you have isolated yourself from your team, highlighted yourself for the enemy team, and cut off heals via this platform for your team. Here, you can't help your BAP or your tank. But if you were here on the high ground, it would be a completely different game. So always play from this high ground. If you are Ana, Juno, Lifeweaver, here you would have helped your Doom, maybe pulled him, gotten him away from that Ryan, but you want to be able to pull that attention from your Doom here, heal him up, and then have him go back out to the fight. The BAP has thrown Lamp on point, so he'll be fine. The Lamp is gonna keep him up, keep him alive. You don't really need to worry about him because he has self-healing and Lamp, but your Doom needs to be pulled out like yesterday. So I would say this would be a much better pedal escape / positioning than this one up here. Yeah, and I think you panic. I think you wanted to go to that high ground there, but it was just unfortunate. I would say here, just play from this high ground. This would have been your best bet, because maybe you could have... Honestly, if I was Lifeweaver in this game, you know what I would have done? Which would have been fantastic. I would have played from here, and I would have done a very cheeky pedal to the enemy Ryan and just pedaled him up. Just gotten him out of the game, because right now he is contesting. And if you pedal him, it'll involuntarily lift him up and your team would have capped. Because the Moira isn't close enough to contest. The Bastion is really far away. And honestly, I would have given Ryan pedal from high ground. You know what? I would have probably dashed here, pedaled him, lifted him up, and have my Doom and my BAP push cart for free, because these two are nowhere near. That's another thing you can do. If you know that you are in a safe spot, especially from here, no one can really reach you here. That Bastion can't see you. And you could have just pedaled the enemy Ryan up and probably won the game for your team. But yeah, if you know you are safe, use the pedal aggressively in that form. Another way that I have used it, like if you see that the enemy Mercy is going for a res or something, you can pedal the soul up away from her and it'll actually break her res. Or let's say that you do that, but she catches the soul, like she takes the pedal up, you can break the pedal and she'll fall and break the res as well. Yeah, if you have any questions about this game or any other things that you would like to say about this VOD review, please make sure to leave it in the comments. Let me know if you guys are enjoying these VOD reviews. If you guys would like your own VOD review, make sure to stop by my Twitch at Tokisori and get your own for free just by hanging out in chat and collecting some channel points. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.